Hello, I'm Taeha, and today we'll be taking a look at the LvL Type-01/80, a nearly $1,000 debut keyboard from Artifact Industries, a new brand attempting to break into the keyboard scene. This video is sponsored by Artifact Industries, and they will be giving away 2 units, so stay tuned to see how to enter. But they did not get to see the video beforehand, nor did they require me to say anything. But given that this is a sponsored video, consider it more of a showcase with my honest opinions. So Artifact Industries first reached out to me in 2020, and they shared some of their early concept ideas, and we bounced some ideas around over a video call. And in 2021, they published their GeekHack interest check, which went largely unnoticed. Since then, we didn't really speak much, but 3 years later, we finally have close to final prototypes in hand, and Artifact Industries is now ready for the public. The first thing I noticed about the LvL is just how well put together everything feels. One of the marketing headlines present when looking into Artifact Industries is their collaboration with German design firm Noto Design, who is notable for having designed many of Bang & Olufsen's products. From the packaging to the unboxing experience to just how every component feels and fits together, you can tell intentional thought was put into each aspect of the LvL. And while this is obviously something that should be a given with the price point it commands, I do think they did a great job with their execution, as very few other keyboard brands do it this well. Part of that $1,000 price tag is the fact that they include a custom torque limiting screwdriver from Sloky, and a nice one at that too, which I thought was overkill. At first I thought that I would rather prefer a cheaper $900 version without the screwdriver. But after having used one for the first time, it makes total sense to use one for keyboard builds. Let me enlighten you as to why you should get one, as I will now personally only be using these for keyboard builds myself. With a torque limiting screwdriver, you never have to worry about over tightening your screws, and also ensure that all your screws are torqued the same amount, which is important in keyboards because this is a known variable that can affect both keyboard sound and feel depending on the design, whether it's screws mounting a plate to a case or screws mounting a case top to a case bottom. This is something so basic that I never thought of because I just simply didn't know that torque limiting screwdrivers were a thing. But after having tried one, it's honestly life-changing. All you need to do is turn the screwdriver until you hear a click and you're done. Artifact Industries will also be selling a standalone toolkit that includes the same handle, a 0.2 Nm torque limiting sleeve, and 4 tool bits, a 1.5 and 2.0 hex, PH00 Phillips, and a TX6 Torx, estimated to be around $60 to $70 US. Given that the LvL uses what is essentially an isolated burger top mount, using this ensures that these silicone grommets will all be applied the same pressure from the screw head and therefore compressed equally. And the uniformity of this is noticeable. Paired with the flex cuts they've put on their plate with their FEA analysis, overall, every key more or less feels and sounds the same way, and results in a pretty pleasant typing experience. If you do build this keyboard without the included silicone dampener and foam, you can achieve a slightly soft typing experience, but I wouldn't consider this a flexi board if that's more your preferred style. Unfortunately, however, the acoustics do take quite a hit without them, and I personally think it doesn't sound as amazing without the included dampening material, so I have kept all the foam in my personal build. With the foam installed, it definitely does add some of that foamy sound signature, but not as much as I expected, and I found the sound signature of the board to be quite pleasant, with a good mix of the character of the switch still present, mixed in with a moderate foamy tint. I was told that the board was optimized to be used with the foam and silicone dampener, but it would have been nice to see some optimizations around acoustics for the board without these as an option as well at this price point. Another thing to note is that if you do use the included 8° feet as opposed to the 4° feet, because the board is so slim, the increased cavity space under the board can make it sound a little more hollow. One of the reasons that it took so long for Artifact Industries to bring this keyboard to market was due to the level of tolerances they wanted to achieve for the level, which I think is a key aspect of this keyboard. I spoke with Phil, one of the co-founders, and he shared that 2 of the 3 years was spent just experimenting with various manufacturers to find someone who could CNC the components to the precision that they wanted. They experimented with at least 10 different CNC centers in Taiwan, and they ran pilot runs with several of them, I was told. And payoff it did, because the way the pieces all fit together, it's definitely up there as one of the best tolerances I've seen on a keyboard. First, the board features these micro grooves that run along the entire side profile, which I think looks really nice. And I actually found myself running my fingers over them because it's a nice tactile fidgeting motion while thinking at my desk. And the one downside to these beautiful micro grooves, however, is that now dust and grime can get stuck in between, which I have to clean. But I mean, just look at how it perfectly runs and continues along onto these removable feet, which also fit with extreme precision. Speaking of, this keyboard just kind of revived cone feet from the dead. We haven't really seen any keyboard with cone feet from major designers in the last couple of years, because these feet look awesome. I mean, while their look is polarizing, I personally also see the frog and can't unsee it. But if we just consider the feet themselves, I think that they're sick. I mean, I love that they're removable and that they include a 4 and 8 degree pair, so you can choose your typing angle. And I hope that we can see more designers experiment with this, especially in the aesthetics department. No screws involved, fully mechanical. I did apply a tiny bit of lube to the feet connectors, as it was almost too perfect a fit. But with a little bit of regular keyboard lube, it makes this motion much smoother. Everything just fits and slots perfectly well throughout the entire build with no gaps. And truly, this keyboard was a pleasure to build. The fact that every screw included uses the same bit. Oh, and they come pre-applied with blue Loctite, by the way, which is a first that I've ever seen on a keyboard. The fact that the daughterboard cable is just the right length. The way the seams all just line up with precision. They really focused a lot on the build experience of this, which I think is a rare aspect many designers fail to prioritize with their designs. The only faults I had really was that, one, the PCB and plate fixture was mounted too high, and this kind of gap generally isn't seen as an aesthetic that people like. Artifact Industries has been made aware of this and have told me that this will be fixed for the production units. And I do wish the anodization could have been a little bit nicer. My review unit did exhibit a little bit of tiger striping, but once again, my unit is a prototype and Artifact Industries has said they will be looking into it. It would have been nice to also see a PCB with more layout options. Now let's address the elephant in the room, the near $1,000 price tag. As much as I have enjoyed daily driving this keyboard for the past 3 weeks, even for someone like myself that really enjoys keyboards and the finer things in life, this is an extremely steep price to pay. Combine that with the fact that Artifact Industries is a new player, they definitely have an uphill battle cut out for them, but I genuinely believe that they have potential based on how refined the level felt for a first product, and I like that they're trying something different we haven't seen in the space, not just for the sake of being different. Their aesthetic to me feels like a little bit of a mix of the tech work community, a little bit of the teenage engineering, and a little bit of sci-fi futuristic themes. And I think the type of people joining in on this first pre-order will be people who generally like to live a little on the edge, with being an early adopter for a product, who like what Artifact Industries is doing and want to support the brand and their growth, more so than perhaps for the level itself. With that being said, I did have a really great time with this keyboard, and I personally am excited to see what future interesting designs they come up with, as it is refreshing to see. As mentioned in the beginning of this video, Artifact Industries will be giving away 2 units. In order to enter, you have to do 3 things. 1, follow the Artifact Industries and Taeha Type's Instagram accounts. 2, join the Artifact Industries Discord server. And lastly, sign up for the Artifact Industries newsletter found on their website. We will be picking a winner a week from today, and I will be posting the winners on the community page of this channel. So make sure to check back in a week to see if you've won. And the giveaway is open worldwide to anyone, so make sure to do all 3 steps. That's it for this video. Please go check out the Taeha Types merch at taehatypes.com/store if you'd like to help support the channel. And until next time, see you nerds.